What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN, USD. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. It's a brand new day today. We literally got 23 hours, 57 minutes left in the day right here. This, the 13th of August. We've just started here at 1.4 cents. We did move up. It's very possible that we have the low here. And, you know, as we have this time and this time called for the low to be there, we do set ourselves up for validation once we break out of this range above 1.5 cents. But if we get the same kind of results where we try, but then we come back down, we try, and then we just don't go anywhere, we might look for lower prices. So at this point in time, in case it's not clear, I am open to the idea of this being the low, right? Just like I was here, just like I was here. But if we start doing stuff like this, we start doing stuff like this, just as we did here and here, I will switch back to thinking that we'll go lower. So we're running with the idea that this could be the low. It's very possible. We'll look at the short-term stuff to validate that. If we take a relative low to high here real quick, I mean, we did go right below the 786. Typically in this kind of scenario, you would expect to go down to the 886, but we didn't do that. So perhaps this is it, and we're looking to move up from here. It just depends on how we react. So hopefully today's a good day. But if we do move lower, the area intended, I think, would be about 1.3 cents, maybe 1.23 cents at the lowest. We could move a little bit below there, but that's okay. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame, okay? 1 hour time frame here, rejecting the overbought zone, giving us the hint, the indication that we could move down a little bit from here, looking like a bearish kind of area on the 1 hour price action there. I don't think that means we have to go lower than this, and we did have a kind of relative double bottom here. That was a nice reaction that we got there. We could go to 1.37 cents, maybe 1.4. Well, we're at 1.4 cents now, 1.39 cents, something like that. Anything and everything in between 1.37, 1.39 today. Let's see how we do, and then we'll probably recover from there and continue to grow. That's the expectation. 1 hour MACD crossing above the zero. Love to see it. That should promote continuation. I don't like the rejection off the overbought zone, but come down to the 50, come down to the 60, whatever, come down a little bit lower, at least to 1.392 cents, if not lower. And then we should recover from there, right? Stochastics look great, but you might cool off a little bit here, and that's okay if you do, right? 4 hour time frame looking at this here. Very bearish 4 hour RSI. And with this very bearish RSI, we really haven't done much, right? This is pretty damn bearish. Getting oversold, not hitting the overbought zone at all, getting right up on that oversold area. I mean, I guess we have moved down in all fairness, but we're turning it around a little bit. We went from moving down with the purpose to now we're moving sideways, kind of rounding out this bottom. Perhaps we do have one last lower low to go, but we should be moving up here pretty damn soon. If not, again, that really could be the low. Stochastics look like they want to continue upwards. So again, maybe over the coming hours we move down, but by the end of today and going into tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised if we moved up. MACD, it's like it's rejecting off the zero line, but this rejection is just not rejecting. It's not that bad, right? When we rejected the zero line here, or let's see, did we reject it? I wouldn't call that a rejection, actually. When we rejected it here, you know, that was more of a rejection there. This is a little bit more modest in comparison to like what we did here. I don't know, you know, it's a little bit more modest. It took a little bit more time. Doesn't mean we can't go lower, but I'm not convinced one way or another at this point in time. And I would say everything looks like it's more likely to go to the upside than the downside right now. This weak rejection could actually be a signal that we are about to cross above. And here we are flipping green right now in the MACD. We're pretty close to the zero line. Might we just go up above this and cross? If we do, you guys, today could be a good day. Today could really be a good day for OnyxCoin. And if today's a good day, we get above 1.5 cents, that's very validating to the idea of this being the low. We have higher to go before we validate that, but it would look good. It would look really good. Looking at the daily time frame here, the RSI is bouncing off the oversold zone. We're just trying to get oversold and we can't seem to do it. That's bullish. That's not bearish. That's actually a good thing, right? When you should be getting oversold but you're not doing it, you're probably going to do the opposite, which is move up. Stochastics look like they want to come out of the oversold area. MACD did provide another drive of bullish divergence 2 days ago. I think it's fine, man. I think we look good, and this is a perfect area to bounce if we are to bounce. You know, here we are with the low that we had yesterday, technically, right there at this low. The last time we had support at this area, I mean, we saw a fantastic move up to 2 cents itself. We get above 1.5 cents. I think it's safe to assume that not only would we go to those same highs, but probably even above there. So not saying that today we'll get up there, maybe. We can move up fast when we want to, but I mean, you know, from the same area, we saw a 14% pump here, 13% pump there. We could see some fantastic things. It is Wednesday. It is Wednesday, and Wednesdays tend to be good days for crypto. So we'll see how it goes. In fact, let's see. That was a Friday. This one was a Monday. So neither of those days were Wednesdays, but that was a Monday. That was a Wednesday at the top there. That was a big day. That was a Thursday, and that was a Thursday. I guess Wednesdays aren't that big of a day for OnyxCoin, but still. Oh, here you go. You started off this one on a Wednesday. Maybe that's a coincidence. Anyways, I do believe that we have higher prospects ahead of us, my friends. I think that we've got a lot of growth to go in a very short amount of time. Looking for the low, as it were. I'm not completely convinced that this is the low right now, but I am going with that notion. I'm throwing that out there. And if I'm wrong, the lowest, absolute lowest that I could see us going to would be about 1.17 cents. I don't think that we go below there personally, but we could. We could go down to that area. We could go below it, I suppose, too, but I don't think that we do. I would honestly be surprised if we went even below this low or too much below that low there. 1.3 to 1.2 cents, still a very possible outcome. But at this point, we're running with the idea that this is the low. We got 5 days left in this week. Let's see how we do. And perhaps what we can do, by the end of this week, with this low being lower than any of these lows over the past few weeks, if we can come up and close above 2 cents, we would bullishly engulf basically the past month and a half of price action, which would be pretty fantastic if I do say myself. So I would say a good goal by the end of this week would be to get above 2 cents if we can. If not, no big deal. In time we will get up there. The real price to watch would be that 2 cent area, I would say, because once we get above 2 cents, we're getting above these highs. You get above this high here, we've turned a lower high, lower low trend into a higher low, higher high trend. And officially at the same time, we are breaking out of this downtrend here. So that would be, not only are we turning the trend into an uptrend, but we're also breaking out of this consolidation phase we've been condemned to since April 11th. So 2 cents, very, very, I want to say important, but that doesn't feel like the right word. It's a very key level. It's a critical level. Whenever we break that, and just because we get above that, don't get too excited, right? If we move up there one day, and we're up above 2 cents, we're at like 2.1 to 2.2 cents, and then we come back down and close. Don't get too excited. We could see a little fake out action, consolidate, and then come up later. But I would still get somewhat excited because we'd have a higher high, right? But getting a close above 2 cents, I think, is what's really exciting. On a daily basis, on a weekly basis, whatever time frame that might be, when we do that, I'm not even worried about these fibs here, the golden ratio, the 786 or the 886. I'm not worried about any of that. I think that we're just going to move straight up, man, to 8.2 cents. 10 cents maybe. I mean, this thing can move really fast in a very short amount of time when it wants to. And I want to check something right now. I'm going to check it on a different tab just because I don't want you guys to see my wallet. Let's just see OnyxCoin. Hold on. Or look at the Onyx app. I want to see what the APR is because it's gone up a little bit over the past month. Just a little bit, like 1%, which is nice, Better that it goes up than down. Come on. 15%. So it's static. It's right there. It's at that same level. So nice. Make sure you're staking. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. If you need help staking, I don't normally recommend staking first off, but with OnyxCoin I like it because once you stake, it's readily available. Like you can unstake it and have access to it relatively immediately, like basically immediately, which I think is awesome, especially with the high APR too. It's like one of the higher ones in the space, especially for its market cap. But essentially what you'd want to do for anybody that's looking to stake, I mean, you could look up one of my videos. Maybe I'll post it. I'll post a pinned comment in it instead of explaining it. That's what I'll do. I'll pin a comment to this video if you want to learn how to stake. And I think that is something everybody who's holding OnyxCoin should do because, I mean, it's going to help you amplify your gains at the end of the day, right? If you think about it, I don't know how much everybody's staking, but if you can, get like 100 OnyxCoins a day or 1,000 OnyxCoins a day or more, if this thing goes to $1 or more, like we're expecting it to do by the end of the cycle, you're making hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars a day, right? Just in staking. So let alone in the rewards you get from holding as well. So, and then selling at the top, and then it'll be easy to unstake. It's pretty fast, and then you can also sell. But anyways, I got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe, look for that pinned comment below. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.